it's such a pleasure meeting you after so many years.
Yeah, you know it.
It's been a really long time since we met on campus.
3 years.
We had one meeting at SDA outside Little Punjab.
Little Punjab.
Ever since you were General Secretary of the National Service Scheme at IIT Delhi, I think many years ago, was it what, 2011?
11, 12.
2011, 12? My memory little better.
My 14.
And so I went back to Blood Connect, this wonderful initiative that was launched as student volunteering activity. And I thought we would ask you so that lot more people get inspired by this wonderful initiative called Blood Connect. So could you tell us the story of how and why you began Blood Connect as GSEC NSS, 4th year student at IIT Delhi?
So it started in 2010 actually. Blood Connect was started as a part of NSS per se, and it was not started by me as a GSEC, it was started by Nitin and Abhinav as a GSEC. Abhinav as a GSEC, Nitin as a secretary. So I was basically in the core team involved there and working with Nitin extensively on setting it up. The perspective of starting Blood Connect was fairly simple, that we saw that there is a need to connect. If anyone needs blood, how does he get it satisfied? And we realized that there is a huge potential of a student base in IIT which can help out in case of anyone needs blood. So which is where the whole concept of Blood Connect actually started. And that's how the whole concept started. And what it eventually led was that we realized that that we can actually expand this across to more colleges as well. There are students who are willing to know about it, who are willing to donate blood, and the requirement is much more than just the helpline. There is a need for not just an immediate use of blood, but there's also a need to kind of educate the user, educate a normal person that come and donate, which is where the awareness comes in. We organize a lot of blood donation camps because we understand it's very tough to convince a person to go to a hospital. I think this as well. So personally, I'm a person who's been involved in the social space quite a bit, right? Since IIT, NSS, etc. The thesis or the reasoning behind blood donation is very simple because it's just 20 minutes which can save 3-4 lives, right? So the perspective is that India has a large youth population of 30% plus, and we just need like 1% of the youth to donate blood regularly. And that will solve the problem, and that even 1% has to just spare like 20 minutes. So that is where we realized that the power of Blood Connect, we as students can actually solve it. So I've seen lots of other causes, for example, let's say education or like teaching, cleanliness, etc. I see those as initiative of those problems as a sort of a bit harder to solve as a student.
This was more low-hanging fruit.
This was also low-hanging fruit, and I realized that it's very good. It's good and easy to motivate people to do this. Motivate students to do this. They get actively involved. They get a lot of leadership opportunities. They see the impact happening right in front of them. It's not a it's actually a low-hanging fruit, which I think students are best suited to do, and they can actually make this as a movement. So that's the reasoning why personally I like Blood Connect quite a bit, and I like the cause quite a bit, and I think it's a very fun activity. Organizing a blood donation camp is super fun. I used to love organizing it because we can give it so many innovations. We can give a donor a rose, and the donor will be happy. We can keep a speaker with good music playing. We can just give a stress ball to a person and he's donated and he gets happy.
So earlier blood donation was a more melancholy activity,
exactly,
and you transformed it into a little more joyous activity.
Exactly. We try to make it more fun, right? The whole concept is whatever you make a person do, it should be a sort of should be happy about it.
Celebration. So
it's a celebration of it.
Blood Connect has some elements of celebration in the social space. So it's wonderful. So have there been some impact stories, one or two that are top of your mind that you would like to share? What has been the impact of Blood Connect? Such a lovely initiative.
So the impact obviously has been, in terms of the donation side, I think that's been enormous. I think we have collected easily over 40,000-50,000 units of blood till now, and we've been growing at year on year 60-70%. From that aspect, that's a huge number. We're there already at 15 cities now. Team of 300. We are having a camp nearly every day or every second day. So about 200 camps across this country. In a year, that's a good positive number. So from a number standpoint, obviously that's the growth story. But from a story standpoint, I will relate to more of the people that I've helped maybe personally in Blood Connect as well. While there's an organization that's working, what sticks on or what keeps on motivating you in Blood Connect is the people that you directly help. So which everyone in our team would have a different story per se. So my story would be, for example, that there was a time when in IIT only, when there was a person in Jharkhand, so there was a patient, he needed blood, and he had come to AIMS, and AIMS guys gave him my number, and I kind of said, "Can come and donate blood." So I went there, helped him out, donated blood. He was a very poor person, like I think a below poverty like person, and he offered me like he still offered me like a juice, so that transportation ले लो आप. And he was saying कि मैं इनको he needed 2-3 more units, and he was like कि मैं किसी और पैसे देकर कर दूँ. मैंने कहा नहीं बॉस, मैं आपको और अरेंज कराता हूँ. And after that, it was his surgery. That was done. That was like a one thing. But irrespective, after that, he's still been in touch with me. So he's called me every 3 months or 6 months. भैया आपका क्या हाल है? क्या चल रहा है? मैं दिल्ली आया हूँ, मिल लो. फिर मेरी बेटी की शादी है यहाँ पर नोएडा में, आ जाना. So the point is that it was one surgery for which he needed a dire need of 3 units. We were able to help him out. But how that person becomes a part of your life, or how that person feels grateful for what you have done, is quite enormous, and that is something which keeps on motivating you to kind of keep on doing the same thing again and again, where you're helping more people.
So one of the things that are responsible for this huge volunteer base you have,
Exactly.
and the lovely team which is
Exactly.
Year after year, because there have been so many initiatives which have not sustained, and this is one thing which is in the social space to sustain it.
Agreed. Understand that people get associated with the cause, and then we try to link it with what they want to do in life as well, right? So even let's say if a person wants help in his placements, he knows the blood and the alimony, he wants to get it back.
So there is some element of self-growth.
Self-growth, exactly. So we have, let's say, the first 10 people, or the first, let's say, it is always tough to get the first 50 people right. I think we did that decently well, where we knew, and that those 50 people have kind of spread wings across different segments, and which has helped the team as well. Now they know that, okay, if I join Blood Connect, I can get help in this. I can even go to a rural area in Bihar and work on that. So it is aligned with the person's vision in terms of why he's doing this.
That's right.
Which is, I think, of more importance. And the second, I think, being very frank, students either look at what they can do in life, and the second is they look at funnel. Simple. And I think from that standpoint, we try to crack it.
So there's a lot of self-growth happening, which is amazing, and hats off to Blood Connect for doing a wonderful job, and a lot of people seem to be growing,
Exactly. Which is quite good.
Which is the reason why they are finding value and continuing to associate with Blood Connect, even though they're in busy careers. So moving on from Blood Connect, you had a few years of stint in the world of consulting and finance and investment, and then you've identified this green area of co-working spaces. And this seems to be a very interesting area of work. And why did you pick up this area? It seems to be
okay. Inherently, it is sort of co-working spaces, not sort of co-working spaces. So it's something of my use case. So when I was in the job, right, I used to for whenever I had to do Blood Connect work, or whenever I just like had to take a break out of the normal, like the regular routine, I would like work 1 day or 2 days out of a cafe. And I realized that there is an immense need for. I realized that's a very good use case, and that will keep on growing. So people inherently always, there's this primary workspace, there's a secondary, but there's a need for a tertiary space where they can kind of just go have their thoughts, relax and work. And that's where I think that's the thought that clicked to me. And I used to use Starbucks quite a bit, and I realized that it's not an ideal experience. And when I went deep into it, I realized that there is a lot of empty real estate in the market which can be utilized to an extent, right? For example, this is a restaurant. This one floor is completely empty during daytime, so we take that as a co-working space. So the inherent concept is to create those work-friendly spaces by not really taking up the asset or taking up the real estate, but a kind of using unused real estate and sort of creating a very happy working culture. So I'm a person who's always driven by those happiness elements. In Blood Connect also we try to bring that out, and I think here also we try to create a happy working environment. So that was a happy impact, happy fun, social impact. Now this is a happy work. There you come here, you have a good experience, you work, and it will be cheap for you. And you should be happy when you come here and happy when you go here.
So this whole thing is around personal energy. What you're saying is that you are this new workspace, co-working space that you have, myhq.in. It's all about a place where you can come and energize yourself. Be energized.
Re-energized, have fun, work, and get your work done. And it's simple, get your work done, but don't lose out your energy and think creative always.
So energy is at the core of this whole thing. And so with that, I would like to close this by asking, you were in a social startup and some consulting, and now you're in this tech startup. There's a little bit of tech in this startup.
There's quite a bit of tech which I can kind of deep dive into, but okay.
There's a little bit of critical tech in this startup, of course. So what is your advice for people who are starting up where there's a little bit of technology involved? How does one generate traction initially? The most challenging thing for many startups is I have a brilliant idea. How do I get traction? But because once it's moving, things are a lot more. Then everybody is willing to invest and everything is willing. All the vitamins are flowing in. But this initial stage,
I think it's not just a function of the initial. I would actually slightly disagree there. My view is that it's always a struggle. Even if Branding, even 5 years down the line, I still have that goal. And I still want to keep on growing it. I still want to pursue it. I want to keep growing. Same with Maestro as well. I think we have had that initial traction, but now we are getting we have to grow faster. I think it's being about ambitious and looking at seeing that can you improve your impact. So that is one thing purely. I don't think that's an initial traction thing. But now coming back to the point of getting your initial traction right, I think that's a lot of just like pushing on and like initial traction is I think something like you do 10 experiments, see what one clicks, and then you kind of keep on expanding on that. So I think we've tried, like in case of Maestro, we tried like a lot of different offline, online marketing techniques. So basic being Google AdWords, Facebook ads, then it's mailing our friends, Facebook spamming our friends, WhatsApp spamming, then offline putting our board, incentivizing the staff, distributing pamphlets by college students, putting up stickers in the market. So we try to identify all those things, and I think it's just more of just like keep on pursuing it, keep on trying till you hit a sort of sweet spot where you think this will click for you, this won't click for you, and then you keep on growing on that. So that's something.
So it's a lot of personal energy.
It's a lot of energy.
A lot of joy.
Setting up any business it's a lot of stress, but a lot of energy. You need to keep on like pursuing it even when you're down and out. Work from morning 9 to evening 3, get it done, get it sorted. And I think the second part is getting the right team. If you got the right team, 80% of your task is done.
So it's been lovely talking to you, Utkarsh, and we would like to invite you maybe back to the IIT Delhi campus.
Yes.
To the chai spot behind the State Bank of India, Auntie's Chai.
Auntie's Chai.
I hope you remember that place.
Yes.
And maybe we'll have a lovely conversation with some boys and girls of IIT Delhi on joy and persistence and happy thoughts and how that can do miracles in the world of startup. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you.